Okay. So it's a best of 7. We're playing the most recent Wings of Liberty map pool / balance. Minus Entombed Valley. Because I forgot to make a video for it. Because map pools used to be 8 maps apparently, so I made 7. Because we do 7 now. It's going to be alternating map picks and alternating server. We'll do a coin flip momentarily. And whoever wins the coin flip gets to choose if they want server advantage or first map pick. And then we'll just go from there. All right. See you guys on the other side.
Cool.
Okay.
Good luck, nerd.
You too, dude.
All right. Hopping into game number 1 between these two nerds on Wings of Liberty. Best of 7. Here we go. There's our sponsor. Some Drunk Canadian is in chat. Shout out to him. You'll be hearing more about him later. But let's just roll the intro, y'all.
Burnt out, and your heart makes no sound. I'll find valid in your eyes. You'll always be my night sky.
This is Cloud Kingdom. Roots Gaming, Neuro. Team GP, Gemini.
Okay, not perfect execution on the intro, but not terrible. We'll get better. We'll get better. He said that, so Gemini's been making build orders of the week, his BOTW series he does, for years. So he literally has old Wings of Liberty builds that he used to do write-ups for back then. So he's going to be bringing out like real builds here. We'll see how Neuro does it. I don't know. As far as I know, Neuro did not do any Wings specific practice for this series. I mean, obviously he already plays StarCraft a ton every week. So he's like mechanically super strong. We'll see how they line up strategically though. Also, the fact that Gemini's playing real builds here. If Neuro's potentially, like those Wings of Liberty builds are designed to work against like whatever the standard was back then, right? In the matchup. So if Neuro's playing something that doesn't necessarily line up with what the standard used to be back then, that might actually play to his advantage a little bit. We'll see. So this might be a Soul Train going up to 4 gates here. +1's about to finish and he's already making a Prism. Or maybe it's just a gateway tech. Guys, I don't know anything. How long has it been? I haven't played Wings since Heart of the Swarm came out. Lair and Roach Roar in here. Out of Neuro. Still working on getting that drone count up. Going all the way up to 60 already. I say already, but we're 8 minutes into the game. Quote unquote, 8 minutes. A sentry drop. Twilight Council behind it. What could this be? Is this like a 4-gate sentry harass? Whoa. Gemini's bringing out the strats that I don't even know about. Also, I don't know if you guys heard in the Discord call right before the game, but so Warp Prisms have a really small pickup radius in Wings of Liberty. So Gemini spent the last like 15 minutes before the series started just practicing Warp Prism pickup so he could get used to the old range. It looks like he might actually get the 3rd base here. Neuro did not have a lot of units ready, but there are roaches popping out now. I actually think he's going to save it. Gemini's going to be careful. Saves the sentries, so that's the most expensive units. Oh my god, just barely gets it. And he gets away with 4 of his units. That's a huge pickup for Gemini. That's exactly the damage he was looking for. He's going Sentry Immortal behind this back at home. With all these sentries out, he's not really too worried about a roach attack. There's no Ravagers, remember? So Neuro doesn't have an easy method for breaking force fields. So defending with a ton of Sentry Immortal is actually very effective. Because you can just kind of chop the army up. And there's nothing they can do about it. They just got to wait until you're out of energy, essentially. See if it decides to force field them in. 3 really good force fields there. Gets a few roaches for free. Neuro's going to back away. Doesn't want to lose the rest of those. Oh, the roach burrows for the sentries because there's no Ravagers. Oh, I forgot about this play. Oh my god, you guys. The nostalgia is real. Oh, muscular augments. That's what it's called. Okay. Isn't the upgrade still called muscular augments? It just has a different picture now. It's really important that he breaks down as many of these rocks as possible. Just because force field is so powerful in Wings of Liberty, making any of the chokes wider is going to help you a lot as the Zerg player here. Neuro's starting to pump out those Hydras as well, making 15 at a time right now, and getting that Infestation Pit so he can continue teching up to Hive or Infestors. We'll see which one he chooses. There's no Swarm Host, and there's no whatever else you can do. Starting to use that burrow to get away from the force fields. Nice save there out of Neuro. Gemini's trading very efficiently though. 2,000 supply up, or 2,000 resources up, and the resources lost. And he's starting to run out of force field energy. There's no sentries left in this army, so it's just pure Blinkstalker Immortal, but he might still be able to push through. The DPS in Gemini's army is kind of insane, especially against these armored units. The Immortals in the back, 11 and 8 kills respectively. And Neuro's army is not too big anymore, down 15 army supply at this point. Looks like Gemini wants to continue pushing forwards, bringing Blinkstalker reinforcements across the map. Neuro might need to pull the drones here if he wants to hold. He's got Hydra Zergling now as his army comp. Not a bad army comp to go for, especially considering there's no Colossus, but I think Gemini's army is just a little bit too big, and he's going to push through for the kill. That's a 1-0 for Gemini. All right, Gemini's up 1-0, and he has server advantage for this game. This was Neuro's map pick, though. But I feel like server advantage is probably a little bit more impactful here. Either way, roll the intro. Let's go.
This is Nuclear District. Team GP, Gemini. Roots Gaming, Neuro.
All right, that was a little better. Not too bad. Okay, gotta get that score updated though. 1-0. Okay. I feel like I should wait even longer before I run the intro video. Like that time, I waited until the game started, and we're a minute 30 in, and nobody's put down a building yet. So, okay, next time for game 3, oh, I guess there was a pylon finished. Next time, I'm gonna wait until like we're a full minute into the game before I even tell you guys that the players are ready. Forgot how slow Wings of Liberty is. Another Forge first here out of GG Gemini, fully expecting another Forge fast expand. Hopefully we see a couple cannon rushes here. I don't think he would do that to his boy Neuro though. We'll see. We'll see how badly he wants the money, you know? Oh, it's a Baneling bust. Oh god, this series might just devolve into early game cheeses. I mean, it is quite a lot of money on the line. And Gemini showed in the last game that he has prepared some very strong builds. So obviously Neuro is going to want to choose strategies that kind of prevent him from doing his builds cleanly and easily. And a Baneling Bust is a really good way to do that. This is going to throw off all the timings. It might just straight up kill him. Gemini, of course, is chrono boosting that sentry. So if this sentry is out before the Banelings hit the wall, that might just be it. We'll see. Oh, this is going to be really close timing. Looks like the sentry will just barely get out. Does he have it selected? He does. Trying to force field that off. Gets the force field. Neuro, oh my god, one of the Banelings was stuck inside. Now he's going to full wall behind the pylon, because obviously that's the most exposed part of the wall. And it looks like this Baneling Bust is going to be held. Neuro's not really going to be able to get through. Gets through the first pylon, but now you have a whole bunch more buildings to get through, and this cannon's putting in work. Neuro, of course, is droning behind this. Already up to 31 drones. Trying to get the Cyber Core. That would be a really good pickoff. He's not going to get any more damage done than that because a new sentry is out, so GG Gemini can cast another force field if he needs it. This is a lot of money, though, going into staying alive for Gemini. So even though this was a really big commitment out of Neuro, he's actually taken the worker lead behind this. Also, Gemini has not started Warp Gate yet, guys. I don't know if he forgot it or if he's just, you know, since he's been spending so much money on sentries and gateways and cannons. Oh, look at that. That's cute. Actually saves the sentry there. That spawned on the wrong side of the wall. Okay, so he does start Warp Gate now. He has 4 gateways here. And a 5th and a Void Ray behind this. Wow. So something totally different this game. I don't think Neuro knows that it's 2 Stargates. He never scouted the second Stargate. So he knows there's 1. But he doesn't necessarily know that it's Mass Phoenix behind it. Look how slow these Void Rays are. It's beautiful. Just how things were meant to be. So of course the Void Ray in Wings of Liberty operates a little bit differently. Instead of having a power-up that charges it like a button you press, it's an attack over time. So the longer it attacks, the more damage it does until it's fully aligned, and then it does maximum damage. So for example, what you might see is he might charge them up on the rocks and then go into the base so that they're fully aligned, doing a bunch of damage. You used to see this a lot. For example, there's this map called Blistering Sands in the first map pool that had rocks in the main base, and people would proxy Stargate you, charge their Void Rays on the rocks, and then have these fully charged Void Rays just snipe your base. It was insane. But this Sky Toss Force doing a little bit of damage. I think Neuro actually just straight up has enough queens here to hold this off. Kills 2 Void Rays for 1 queen and an Overlord. Pretty good trade if you ask me. The Ninja base is officially finished. He actually main-arted drones. Sent them all the way around the edge so they wouldn't be spotted. Gemini also taking his own 3rd base behind this, getting some cannons and sentries up for defense. And he's continuing on the Phoenix path. Going up to 8 Phoenixes here already. But he's going Blink behind it, so it looks like there will be a ground transition in the future. Looks like one of the choices is Corruptors here to take care of the Phoenix and the Colossus. Eventually is going to want to get Broodlords out. Hive is finished. Greater Spire is not yet done. So the Corruptors will just be Corruptors for the moment. Neuro has a pretty good comp. The only thing that really scares me here is force fields. I feel like a lot of the fights back in Wings of Liberty kind of just came down to how good are the force fields, because when you have Fungals and you have Banelings, especially Fungals where the Protoss army can't move, if you force field perfectly, you're going to win the fight as a Protoss. If you have a little gap in your force field, the Banelings are just going to delete your army. You see what ends up happening here. Gemini already getting a really good start to the fight. Catches the queens out by themselves. Look at that. There's 1 fungal off already. Look, that army can't move at all. So disgusting. Such a disgusting spell. 3 infestors left. The Greater Spire is only halfway done here. So Neuro's going to need to defend with the ground-based composition. Does not yet have access to Broodlords. Gemini's taking a 4th base behind this well, continuing to make Colossus. Neuro's looking for those money fungals. That one's not amazing. And it looks like Gemini's just going to back up. As far as Gemini knows, he just killed Neuro's 3rd base. Oh, Zealots found the ninja, though, so he really did just kill Neuro's third base. Neuro's all the way down to 40 workers. So this Broodlord play is really going to need to do a ton of damage here. Gemini actually just killing his own Phoenix here, deciding that is not the best unit to have anymore. You know, it's funny because killing his own Phoenix, unless he replaces them with something else that can hit air, could actually indirectly make Neuro's army way stronger if he ends up getting a ton of Broodlords out. Neuro doesn't exactly have the money to do that, though. That's going to be a very big problem. He's kind of sharking around with the Corruptors, but I don't think the Corruptors don't have Caustic Spray. So he can't kill buildings, guys. They can just fly around. The only thing, they have this old spell, I don't remember what it's called. Maybe it's also called Caustic Spray. But I think it makes it so certain units take more damage. Like 10% more damage or something. Nice little pressure going on in the main base as Gemini moves up to the natural. Oh no, the force fields are going to be brutal on that main ramp. There's no Ravagers to break them either. Oh god. Blinkstalker's zoning out the Corruptors, so Neuro's not able to get on top of the Colossus at this point. Nice little Sharky boys in the back, though. Gonna cast the Infested Terran, but there's so many force fields, this is never gonna get through. Corruptor's finally getting on top of the Colossus here, but I think this one's over, guys. This force field play was just too OP. GG, 2-0 for Gemini. So let's just run the next intro. Here we go. Game 3.
This is a daily break.
Roots Gaming, Neuro. Team GP, Gemini.
All right. Getting better and better. No, it's actually not a 6 pool. It's just we're already 2 minutes into the game. See, I tricked you. I didn't tell you that the lobby started 2 minutes ago. It is an early pool, though. Looking on to put a little bit of pressure here. I think it was an 8 pool. This is the most exciting thing happening in the game right now. Hallucination? Is that a misclick? Oh my god, is he gonna halluc an army? Did you know most of my army was halluc? I hope it's not a misclick, but H is right beside G. This could easily be a misclick. Really fast third base out of Gemini. He wants to go ultra greedy, making up for the delayed natural nexus from the early game by taking a really fast third base here. What if that's his whole plan? He's just going to make a bunch of sentries and hallucinate scary units and intimidate Neuro into just not attacking him. That would be incredible. We got a Nidus Worm. It's going to be a Ling Queen Nidus here out of Neuro. This is an amazing build choice here considering Gemini's playing so greedy. And his main form of defense right now is force fields and walls, right? And guess what Niduses can get through? Force fields and walls. They can just pop up wherever you need them to. I can't imagine how Gemini could possibly hold this attack right now. Nidus coming up in the main base. I really doubt Gemini sees that. He does not. Wow, it's the perfect spot for it. We'll see what the load-unload time is of Niduses. This is the Wings of Liberty Nidus. Let's see how fast this thing unloads. Actually, pretty decent unload speed. For some reason, I expected it to be slower, and Gemini's just going to GG out immediately. He only had 3 units, guys. He had 2 sentries and a stalker. He knew he was dead. Before we head into game 4, we're going to take a short break. But I hope you all enjoy. We have a nice little interview with Gemini for you all to watch during the break.
There's plenty of games that I've seen that made me want to stick to it and just want to keep playing, right? Like, I think I remember watching one time, watching a first-person VOD of Bisu when he was playing Brood War, and like this is when because I got into StarCraft esports like right at the start of 2010, right when the beta was about to be coming out, and then I started watching all the old stuff. So like I saw a Bisu VOD of him. It's such a simple thing, but I watched him microing a probe around a Zerg's base, right? And then he literally in a fraction of a second whips back to his nat, puts his forge down in the most perfect spot, and then whips back and just starts microing the probe again. And like, if you've ever played Brood War, like you understand like the building placement in Brood War is not simple. Like it doesn't have the building grid. It doesn't have like it just looks very like just looking at it, you can't really intuitively tell where the buildings go to block off everything and wall everything off. But like, literally I barely even saw him move to the natural, and he put it down exactly where he needed to, and he's just going along doing his things. Like that alone was just kind of like a whoa, like these players are actually so fast. Like because I was trying to play some Brood War, and I literally couldn't even figure out how to wall off. Like, it's so hard to wall off in Brood War. And I remember seeing that and just be like, holy crap, that's insane. White War was my like original favorite player, and he did a Colossus drop off one base, and I was just like, whoa, like that is a crazy build. Like, I've not seen people trying to do this kind of a thing. Like, you know, it's a bunch of 4 gates, it's a bunch of proxy gateways, like you know, whatever. But he did just a 1 base Colossus drop, and I was just like, holy crap, that's crazy. That's such a cool, super early things. And then eventually I see Liquid Hero play, and then I'm just like, oh, yep, okay, I love it. I played on my friend's account for the first like month, and he was in straight up copper, like literally the bottom, like he was just copper. Like, I mean, and I had not played. I played like Warcraft 3 and some stuff, like but not very well competitively, right? So I didn't really know what I was doing, but I guess I kind of did, because I was just like a god from the beginning, apparently, because I literally remember the first game I played was on Lost Temple, and I did a 4 gate with a warp prism though. So I had units going in the front with the warp prism warping in the back at the same time. And I dumpstered them. So I was already a multitasking god from the very beginning, apparently. And that blew me straight up from copper, and I boosted my friend's account from copper up to like, I don't know, silver or something, and then I got my own account, and then I played on that. I kind of like went around with all the races like right at the very beginning, like when I had literally like no idea what I was doing, but I think when I finally actually played ranked or whatever, I think I stuck with Protoss, I think. I have my build of the week stuff that I've been doing for literally years, right? Like, I've been doing build order guides for so long that I still have a lot of the write-ups to builds that I used to do on my PC. So I still have literally everything that I used to do. So I'm just gonna load those, and I'm just gonna grind those in custom games a couple of days beforehand. As much as I might practice some of the builds, like I don't imagine that he will be doing stuff that just lets me do all that super cleanly, right? It'll be pretty weird, I'm sure. Like the things won't be normal, what's happening. So I don't think I'll probably be able to do my game plan properly in some of the games. And I'm sure we'll probably get some kind of wacky ones. Like, I mean, when you and me played a couple of times too, like I tried to do some of those. I didn't practice them beforehand, obviously, but I would try to do those builds. But we still had some kind of nutty games, so. Wait, is it that? Wait, what was the meme? Did they make it so that way Queen Inject gives you more larva or less larva now?
It gives you
Oh wait, no,
less larva,
stacking.
but you can stack
stacking
it.
larva.
Okay.
Okay, you know what? That's it. That's it for Zerg. Being able to stack
Stacking
larva,
larva.
that's 100%. That would be
fucked.
broken AF.
Yeah.
Stacking larva for Terran BC warps. I think maybe. What actually? No, maybe liberators. Right? Because there's so many old maps back then that would just be broken for liberators and liberator sieges. I feel like, and you don't really have the tools to deal with range liberator, right? Because Tempest don't exist. It would be only Blink Stalker. It would for Zerg. Corruptors, I think, were much worse back then, weren't they? Right? Infested Terran, I guess, exist, but I guess I'm thinking mostly PvT. But I feel like liberators would be super strong, especially with range. And then for Protoss, like how I did the other two races first.
Oh yeah, I was.
I know what I hate
Protoss
playing
first.
against. I know what I hate playing against things. I was gonna say +2 Banes for Zerg, but that's probably not as exactly as exactly. But for Protoss, what would make? I mean, I get like disruptors maybe.
Yeah, I was thinking disruptors, but also like
people couldn't control that shit back then anyway. Like what? Like.
I mean, disruptors would break PvZ because there's no Vipers. But I feel
that
like
is
PvT.
True. That is true. Also, force fields are not breakable because there's no Ravagers.
PvT would be very similar, wouldn't it? Or do people go Liberators against RoboVape?
Yeah, but that's only like late game people sometimes do that. I feel like Disruptor probably would I think that would probably be the answer, like especially versus Zerg. Like holy crap, with no force field breaking, like the force field donut Disruptor combos that are already they can already be pretty decent now. Like that would be nuts.
Yeah.
That would be insane if you can't get rid of force fields, especially in a meta that already like allows you to get sentries more, right? Because you just stick on 2 or 3 bases for way longer. Like that already would probably be pretty crazy.
That would be disgusting.
Yeah, I guess I'll pick Disruptors, Liberators, and then Queen stacking injects. Imagine the 12-minute Roach Max, but with stackable injects. You don't even have to pay attention to. Yeah, it would be just so fast.
Welcome to Antigua Shipyard. Team GP, Gemini. Roots Gaming, Neuro.
Another Robo opener here out of Gemini. The last time we saw him go Robo first, he did a 4-gate Sentry Zealot pressure with it and killed Neuro's third base, actually. So he might elect to do that again. It was really close, though. Remember, Neuro had about 10 roaches to defend it and just barely didn't kill it. Like 3 Zealots killed it at the last second. So far, it's looking largely the same as that. Getting the +1 attack again. And it's actually going to be an Immortal this time, so it's not the same build. We went Prism first last time. Neuro's continuing to work on his 3-base saturation, getting the Laird Roach Warren and his upgrades as well. Are we finally seeing a Soul Train? Oh my god, please be a Soul Train. This is also going to be... sorry, we're on the Korean server right now. So Gemini has the ping advantage. So something like a Soul Train, a very micro heavy build, control focused. This is definitely the server he wants to be doing it on, since he essentially has 0 ping on this server. And it'll be obviously harder for Neuro to defend. His ping is about, I think they were both saying they get about 150 to the other player's server, so not too bad. Not amazing though. Neuro hasn't really scouted it. He sees a gateway coming up over here. But he's just blind countering it, really. It looks like he wanted to get aggressive anyways. Making a little bit of a creep highway and just going mass units off of 57 drones. It's so good here as well that he's getting these rocks down. Why did I have to say something? Neuro! There we go. It's so good here that he's getting these rocks down. Because force fields would just be too powerful if there was only one angle for his units to come in from. By the way, confirmed Soul Train, you guys. 3 Immortals into the Prism with the 6 gateways and +1 attack. Gemini knows exactly what he's doing here. Playing for the fans. But Neuro as well is also continuing to only make units. So he has a pretty good counter to this. I mean, he really didn't over-drone. 57 drones is a fine amount to make against this strategy. He's also going to have his own +1 by the time this hits. Oh my god. If he catches Gemini's army in the middle of the map, I think that'll also be good for Neuro as long as he doesn't overcommit to the engagement, because you really want to burn as much force field energy as possible here because you don't have Ravagers to break them. So force fields are just way more powerful. He's actually going to back up here. I really wish he would have engaged a little bit in the middle. Not a full engage, but just enough to make Gemini burn some of his force fields. But instead, he backs up. Gonna try and get that little bit of a surround. Gemini does the full donut and protects his army for now. But once those force fields start expiring, Neuro might be able to engage. Neuro's got a 30 supply lead right now. But a lot of that is caught up in his production. Gemini is being super cost efficient here. Neuro needs to disengage and wait for more units. But it might be too late already. Gemini is going to continue reinforcing on the 6 gateways. Neuro is backed all the way up to his 3rd base at this point. Still producing a lot of units, don't get me wrong. But Neuro actually is down in army supply at this point. As Gemini does this super committed 2-base play. Neuro going to try and snipe the Prism, not going to be able to get it. And I think Gemini is going to choo-choo his way to victory here. And go up 3-1 in the series. GG. Alright. Looks like the players are ready. Let's hop into game number 5. Here we go.
This is Condemned Ridge. Team GP Gemini. Roots Gaming Neuro.
Welcome back. Oh god, I forgot to change the score. I mean, production forgot to change the score. I'm just the caster, you guys. There is a separate entire production team running the show behind the scenes. In case you guys didn't know, there's a whole room of monkeys. 50 monkeys. Each one is in charge of a single button. They've got a big red button in front of them. And they smash it. Like that like button. The games have been pretty close, don't get me wrong. It's just, you can really tell that Gemini put in some work on these build orders. His timings are so goddamn crisp. Honestly, probably executing at an even higher level than he was, or like even than Grandmasters were in Wings of Liberty at the time, just because he has the old builds plus 9 more years of mechanical grinding. So the control is better, the worker production is better. So we'll see if Neuro is able to take advantage of the really fast 3rd base here. He's already up to 60 workers. Not too bad. I mean, don't look at the timer because that thing's accelerated anyways. Gemini gonna do a cheeky little Phoenix opener this game. He's actually playing against the Zerg, who's gonna go +1 melee, so I think this is a good build matchup for Neuro. Phoenix is obviously not good against +1 Zerglings. So we'll see if Neuro's able to pressure Gemini's third base here as he slowly makes his way into his ground transition. He does have a few gateway units already. Halfway done on that +1 attack as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see a decent sized Ling Flood coming as +1 finishes here for Neuro. Gonna work his way up to Hydra Zergling actually. Keep in mind there's no lurkers, right? So once you go to Hydras, that's your final tech with that building. He might be able to get some damage done here. Probably he's going to want to pressure this cannon if he can. There's no shield batteries, you guys, so defending these open third bases are way harder. There's no shield battery. So obviously there's also no Giga battery. Defending bases is just force fields and units in this game. Neuro did end up making a pretty decent chunk of Zerglings here, as his +1 is about 20 seconds away from finishing. But Gemini's actually going to wall in that cannon. That's going to make it really powerful, especially with force fields. But it looks like Neuro is just going to focus on the units for now instead. Engaging on top of this Protoss army, he got a really good surround. All the force fields have been popped. There's a couple left on this sentry in the back. Pretty nice force fields, though. I think Neuro might be able to get some decent damage anyways. Looks like the Immortal reinforcement plus the gateway units is going to be enough to hold his third base. Not a bad amount of damage, though, for Neuro. Keep in mind, guys, he's on a really good drone count behind this. He's on 64 drones against a Protoss who's only at 49. Actually getting hallucination this time on purpose, I think. Going for a huge Roach Hydra max here. Already did some decent. Who am I, Sean Connery? He did some decent damage at the third base of Gemini. And he's got a huge-ass army now. Gemini just now finishing his first Colossus. And he doesn't have Thermal Lance either, so this is going to be a really dangerous attack here out of Neuro. Just going for the classic Wings of Liberty Overwhelm version of Zerg, because Micro was not a thing in this game. No Ravagers, no Micro. That's pretty much the only Micro that Zergs do these days against Protoss, is just biling stuff. Like, what else even is there to do? Split against Disruptors, maybe, I guess? I don't know. We'll see if Neuro's able to get it done here. He's up 50 supply, but Force Field, good unit. He really wants to get on top of those Colossus, especially since there's no Thermal Lance out yet. I think without Thermal Lance, Colossus and Hydras actually have the same range. I'm pretty sure. He's still up a lot of supply. Actually, his supply lead's even growing at this point. Starting 21 Roaches. So that means a lot of his army's in production right now, not here across the map, but I think he's still going to break through. Kills both of the Immortals. The best part of Gemini's army at this point is those two Colossus in the back. Putting in work, actually. Tons of kills on these Colossus. And I think Neuro needs to back up and regroup real quick as he continues to stream reinforcements across the map. The Colossus are still alive, but there's nothing left to protect them anymore. Neuro clicks on the Nexus there for a second. A little bit of a misclick. No biggie, though. Oh my god, the Colossus can go up on this cliff and he can't see them. Holy shit. Neuro needs to bring an Overseer because he literally can't see the Colossus when they go up here. What is this? What is this cliff? Giraffe's good unit, you guys. What the? He's somehow hitting them. What is giving him vision up there? I don't know how he was able to hit those. Is that another bug? That's got to be a bug, right? I feel like he shouldn't have been able to see the giraffes. This Wings mod is not is not fully operational, you guys. An air unit. Oh, okay. Thank you, Warren, for the clarification. I actually, was not aware, so thank you. I think Neuro's just going to push through for the win here. He's up 120 supply. We're going to get a game 6, guys. Hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, sorry. Production didn't update the score. I'm going to have a talk with them after this event. They've been really dropping the ball today, you guys. Okay, anyways. Let's just, let's just jump into it.
Welcome to Ohana.
I love rock. Rock, rock. Rock, 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 rock.
Roots Gaming, Neuro. Team GP, Gemini.
I like rocks. Did you guys know that? Guys, I like rocks. Did you know that Ohana actually means rocks? Alright, did I forget to turn on the game sound? I mean, did production forget to turn on the game sound? I don't know what you're talking about. I was purposely not looking at the proxy hatch so you guys would, to be more suspenseful, you know? Hatcheries take too long to build. If you didn't say something, I wasn't gonna look at it until it was like 10 seconds away from finishing. I think Gemini is gonna be completely fine here. He already, since his standard build is Forge Fast Expand anyways, he can just throw down a cannon. It's built into his build. Neuro, realizing this as well, is actually going to put down his natural behind this, probably macro out of it. We'll see if he commits to try and get any Zerglings out of the proxy hatch. I'd be surprised, though, if he lets it finish, to be honest. Is he gonna? Last second cancel. I think that's the right decision here. That's a really big investment, and he was only maybe going to get 2 Zerglings out of it. A Queen would have never finished there because it was maybe 5 seconds away from dying. So he's just going to use that money to take a third base right beside these beautiful rocks. Rocks. Ohana means rocks. You heard it here first. In case you guys didn't know, there's also rocks on the other side of the map. Very important map feature. And I should honestly give him a map loss just for attacking the rocks. Oh my god, Neuro's doing the same. These guys... Can't believe they would do that. Anyways, it is more of a macro build, actually. Getting Hallucination again. I guess mostly for scouting, but I hope he uses it to hallucinate scary units. He's being attacked, though, by Neuro, or at least a posture from Neuro. Might try to get some damage done on that third base. Gemini's already got a pretty decent wall set up, so it's only going to take him maybe 3 force fields to close the rest of this choke. Yeah, Hallucination's an upgrade. And now it's finished. Nice force fields, wow. Neuro's not going to be able to get anything done here. He did drone up a little bit more behind this, so he's still up 10 workers. And Blink is now finished for Gemini, getting that +2 as well. Looks like Neuro really wants to commit here to a little bit of a pressure, or maybe just afraid of being attacked. You know what, guys? I have no idea. Are we going to see a long macro game? We still haven't seen Infestor Broodlord yet, by the way. which is kind of sad. We saw the Soul Train, which is an absolute banger of a classic. But we haven't managed to get to Infestor Broodlord yet. Neuro tried to do it in game number 2. He tried to get to Infestor Broodlord. But unfortunately he was killed before the Greater Spire could finish. Or before he could make any Broodlords. But the other thing is, instead of morphing individual overlords into transport overlords, once the oh my god, Gemini just force fielded all of his own sentries into a donut and then blinked the stalkers out. That was definitely some miss micro there. He also trapped one of his own immortals, and that might just be like game losing micro. Oh no, that was not the play. Neuro manages to snipe the second immortal as well. Looks like there's no immortals left. Bunch of DTs coming out as the YOLO last play here for Gemini. Neuro getting the last Spore Crawler down. He's going to start some Overseers as well. In with Dark Templar. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. Once Ventral Sax is finished, every Overlord is now a Transport Overlord. How OP is this? I feel like people were never using this back in the day. But now there's just 9 Dropper Lords. Okay, Gemini trying to get some DT harass done in the main base. Actually doing a pretty good job here. Killing 17 drones, as there was also a Dark Templar at the 3rd. But how do you deal with this 9 Overlord drop? And 3 Muta Hit Squad coming on the way as well. So Neuro's completely maxed out. Gemini down at 140 supply. Trying to work his way back in this game with a bunch of multi-prong harass. But he's being attacked on 2 fronts now, as Neuro moves on to the 3rd base with half of his army and has the other half in the main base trying to do a bunch of damage. Oh, he might try and get out here. No, just kidding. He's just regrouping. Getting some damage done at the 3rd base. Morphing some Overseers as well. He's really scared of those Dark Templar. And even though the supplies look even, Neuro was just saving up money so he could do a Muta switch. He's already got 3 Mutas out, 14 more on the way. And Gemini does not have a Stargate, so he's not going to be able to defend this with Phoenix. He also doesn't have a Templar Archives, so he won't be able to use Storm either. His main defense is going to be these Blink Stalkers, and then Archons from the Dark Templar. Recall? There is no recall in this game, I think. The recall is a mothership spell. Look how slow these mutas are, by the way. And they don't have the super sick regen in this game. Okay, so those mutas are gonna possibly end the game here. There's already 19 out. Going up to 21 already. We do have a lot of Blink Stalkers, so Neuro definitely needs to group all of his mutas together if he wants to fight those Stalkers. Gonna send the rest of his army to the 3rd base. There's only a couple of sentries and immortals here as the Zerglings hop on top of that. Gemini's continuing with the DT harass, getting work done. 10 workers going down in total at a couple different bases. Wow, this game is kind of crazy. This is probably the closest game we've had so far. And it's hectic as well. 11 probes going down, 13 workers for Neuro going down as well. Gemini has had this 4th base finish forever, but he's never really been able to use it because he's just been getting attacked nonstop for like the last 5 minutes. Neuro again coming into this 3rd base, looking to get some more damage done. Nice force field. Good hold position. Micro gets a couple of workers, but I think Gemini's going to take care of the Ling counterattack, no problem. I'd love to see Neuro flip his control groups, because Gemini has the Stalkers in the main and he has the anti-ground at the 3rd. So I'd love to see Neuro take the Mutas to the 3rd and go to the main with the Zerglings. We'll see if he actually ends up doing anything like that. Still continuing to just make pure Mutalisk, which is honestly a super strong choice at this point in the game, because Gemini still doesn't have a Stargate. So he still can't make Phoenix. Oh, Neuro just barely missing the prison there. Looks like he might turn around and get that. Not before 5 Dark Templar were warped in, though. Looks like, where are the others? Oh my god, I think the other 4 were in the prism, actually. So we got 25 mutts with +1 in about 20 seconds for them. And Gemini building up a pretty strong army here. He's got 2 Archons and he's got a bunch of Blink Stalkers. So he can win a straight up engagement, but I don't think Neuro will ever give that to him. He's just going to continue to try and harass. Does get 3 mutas, 4 mutas go down there. A little bit of a misplay there from Neuro, not watching his mutas when they flew into Gemini's main base. And Gemini's sick of this. He's just going to come across the map now with his army. But again, Neuro is just going to play this like poke and prod style where he just goes around getting damage done at bases, never taking a head-on engagement until he's sure that he can win it. I'm sure if it came down to it and Gemini walked across the map that he would just get base traded as well. We still have 21 mutas on the map. But it looks like Neuro is switching more into a ground focus comp at this point, only making roaches and zerglings now. Oh, this might not be the time to take an engagement. Neuro realizes it as well. Trying to back up. Really wants to avoid the splash damage of the Archons because those Archons, oh my god, they focused on the mutas. They killed 5 mutas in one shot there. That was an amazing fight for Gemini. Pretty much the best fight he could have ever gotten. And he's going to march across the map at this point. Neuro's got a ton of units in production. He's going to need to delay this push as long as he can if he wants to survive, though, because right now his standing army on the map is pretty small. Going to continue to use these mutas to harass Gemini's economy while he just masses roaches for the defense. Oh, catches a little bit of Gemini's army out in the open, gets an Archon for free, and then he's just going to back up. Nice catch there for Neuro. And the mutas are kind of deleting the economy behind this. Gemini going to try and defend with the Stalker reinforced, but I think the mutas should be able to fight that. Oh, decides not to. God, mutas were bad in wings, dude. Oh, these Stalkers have +3 attack, actually. That makes sense. Huge engagement coming down. Good force fields by Gemini. Bit of a surround here, though, from Neuro, and most of Gemini's power units are dead at this point. There's only 1 Immortal left in this army. No Archons either. And it looks like Neuro is going to hold in the end with the OP transfuse behind it, keeping those roaches alive what feels like forever. Oh, God. This fight's way closer than I thought it was going to be. I thought Neuro was going to crush that, but the Blink plus Prism Micro is actually pretty sick. This Immortal has 45 kills. Holy shit. I think Neuro might need to evacuate this base. Get out of there and regroup one more time if he wants to take this engagement. Gonna fight with the drones at this point, but Gemini has some new force fields that he can use to cut the army in half again. Yeah, there it goes. Most of these Hydras are not shooting right now, but these Hydras have good range. As soon as the Stalkers try to move forwards to shoot the Hydras are able to shoot the Stalkers. And this Hydra Link transition, it might just be the finishing move here for Neuro. As Gemini does not really have any units that are good against the Hydra Link here. Does not have a Robo base, so he can't switch into Colossus at this point. Probably his best bet would be something like Charge-Led Archon, because he also doesn't have Storm, keep in mind. So his army's pretty weak against the light units at this point. Oh, gets the Prism, gets the Observer as well. Nice pickoffs there for Neuro. Gemini has a much better economy, all the way up at 56 workers, continuing to pump out 3 probes at a time, so Neuro kind of needs to do some damage. And he is a little bit. Gets a couple workers there. Gonna keep up the pressure on this 4th base. How many Hydras do we have? 23 Hydras. If Neuro attacked right now, I think he could do a lot of damage to Gemini's economy. Obviously, that's a hard call to make. This game has been so hectic, it's impossible to know the state of the game exactly like we do as observers. Oh, and Neuro's biggest mining base is going to be attacked here by DTs. Observer morphed. Sorry, Overseer morphed. Oh, and there's actually Overseers on the way already. So this should be held pretty easily. Gemini's just going to move to the main base now. Is there anything in the main? Not really. And I think the longer Gemini delays here, the better it gets for him. Neuro had a little bit of a window here to possibly make something happen, but Gemini's eco is better. Oh, Neuro's getting some pretty nice probe damage on that. Anyways, Gemini's eco is better than Neuro's, so I feel like the longer this game goes on here, the better it gets for Gemini. Is DT just chilling here, being a sneaky boy. We have a Dropper Lord. The 4 Hydra hit squad. Hell yeah, let's go. Neuro gonna try and make something happen here at this 4th base. This is gonna be tough to attack into with all these sentries here. 1 ramp here, 1 really small ramp here, so it should only be about 3 force fields in order to keep himself safe. Here we go. Gemini using those force fields to cut the Hydras in half. Neuro needs to back up for now. Starting to make some roaches as well, so he doesn't just die to charge lots. The Hydras have really high DPS, obviously, but they're super squishy, so you get some charge lots on top of those bad boys, and it's all ogre, son. 4 Hydra hit squad. I guarantee Gemini's. Oh my god, please drop the Hydras. Drop the Hydras. Neuro! No! Rip. How's the game going? This game's crazy, man. So back and forth. And we've had, like, pretty much every, like, tier 2 tech for both players. Neuro's got a really big army, but it's pretty much basic units. It's just Roach Hydra against... Well, there's no Immortals here, though. It's just Archon Gateway units. Oh my god, I thought there was Immortals in there as well. So without the Immortals, the Roaches are really, really strong all of a sudden because there's no amazing anti-armor here for Gemini. And he's going to GG out. Neuro just sits back and works his way up to a really big Roach Hydra ball and ends up winning the game. Not too bad. I really, honestly, I did not expect the game to end there. Holy shit, guys. We're going to 7 games. We're going the distance. And guess what? Neuro has server advantage for the final game. Apparently, server advantage doesn't really matter. So far, what are the... Well, I guess it's pretty strong. The players are 4-2 so far with server advantage. Gemini won game 1 on NA, and then, of course, Neuro just won game 6 on the Korean server. And Akalon Flats is going to be game 7. This was just the leftover map. Nobody picked it. Akalon Flats is the last kid picked for Dodgeball. Poor guy. Oh, let's use the instant replay feature. Let's take one more cheeky peek at that final fight there. Let's see. Hopefully this works well. I think I pressed the hotkey. Did I press it? Oh, look at that. This was the final fight in the last game to send us into a 7th match. I guess without the Immortals in there, the Roach Hydra is just so strong. Like, that's why Protosses were going Colossus so often back in Wings of Liberty, because Colossus were just amazing without Vipers and without any way for the Zerg to break force fields either, obviously aside from Ultras. And now, everybody, it's time for Game 7 on Akalon Flats. Let's go.
And I can't see the ground. Can we stop this gravity? It keeps bringing me down. I can't breathe and I don't want to die. Can we stop this gravity?
Welcome to Akalon Flats. Roots Gaming, Neuro. Team GP, Gemini.
Game 7 hype. Let's go. Hell yeah. I'm so happy we made it to Game 7. What's up, Quail? Another fast third base here out of Neuro. Looks like these boys are on a quest to create the most beautiful macro game of all time. Playing a game for the fans for the third one. For the third one? For the seventh one. Rocks are not stupid? Who said rocks were stupid? I will ban anybody who doesn't like rocks. I come from a family of people who like rocks. But what does that mean? Are we geologists? No. We are not geologists. We just like rocks. We throw them. We put them in our garden. Collect them. You know, just rocks. Eat them. Yep. Are we getting a Soul Train out of Gemini? He really wants to win, eh? I think it is another Soul Train, you guys. We got to see this in, I want to say game number 4 he did this. And he kind of crushed it. I mean, Neuro had a good counter, like, units-wise. As in, he started making units at the correct time the first time he got Soul Trained. The issue was more so the engagement. Gemini, because you have so many force fields, just the way this build works, he was just able to cut up Neuro's army. Even though he was down like 30 supply, he was just able to cut it up into little pieces over and over and over and fight so cost efficiently that he just kind of murdered Neuro. So we'll see if Neuro makes any adjustments here. He'll definitely recognize that it's a Soul Train as soon as he sees the army. But look at this. Gemini is actually just going to go out with one Stalker and try and clear any Zerglings that are out here so that Neuro will have a hard time identifying exactly what's coming. Gets one Zergling there. Going to get the second one as well, actually, with this single Stalker. Oh, maybe this Zergling. Oh, it's going to see all the sentries. I don't know if he was watching, though. That was a really... He would have needed to be really quick there if he wanted to see those sentries. Looks like Neuro's ready, though. He's got a pretty big army. He's at double the army supply right now. I don't know if this is going to work, you guys. And he's setting up at a good angle as well. This is a pretty open engagement spot. It's all going to come down to the force fields. A mortal force field is a good unit. It can be super cost efficient. Gemini going to keep warping in off of his 6 gateways here. Looks like Neuro wants to start the engagement. Oh, gets a really nice surround on the back, actually, with those Zerglings. Oh, First Immortal. Oh my god, he picks it up. First Immortal has barely any HP left. I think good first fight for both of them. Neuro managed to burn a lot of force fields there, but Gemini definitely got the better end of the trades. And then Neuro's going to back up again once 5 more force fields are burned. And continue to produce off of his 60 drones. Gemini's trying to find a good angle, but I don't think he's going to get it. Manages to partition off a lot of the roaches there, but the other roaches are just able to evacuate through the north. Gemini's still trading pretty okay, and all 3 Immortals are alive as well. He's actually going to warp in more force field boys at this point. But Neuro's army might just be too big. Gets on top of one of the Immortals. I have no idea what's going on. One of the Immortals goes down, but he might have dove too hard on these. There's no gateway units left behind this, though. One Immortal left. 5 Stalkers against like 8 roaches. Gonna micro his heart out with that Prism. And gets away with a few units, but I think that's a good hold for Neuro. This is a really committed build when you do this as the Protoss. There's no plan to take a third base with this. You kind of just need to kill them on 2 bases or else the Zerg is going to win, and Neuro actually feels comfortable enough to take a 4th at this point. So what is Gemini's plan to transition out of this at this point? Looks like he's just going to continue the attack, actually. Getting a new Immortal, new sentries, new Zealots. And Neuro as well, going to keep powering up units. He did make a few drones there, went up to 61. But now it's back into mass roach. Such a simpler game, eh, guys? It's literally, he just makes roaches. Simpler times. I think Gemini might just reload and go again. I don't know if he's going to wait for 3 Immortals. He might just go with 2 this time. Because waiting for the 3rd would take quite a while. Well, actually, he's going to have a 3rd because he already has this Prism. So he'll have 3 again. Is he going to try and take a 3rd base here? Or is he faking it? There's no probe going out yet, so I think it's a fake, and he's actually just going to continue the attack. Neuro working his way up to Baneling Nest. He already has some Hydras on the way. No range yet, though, for the Hydras. So for now, they're not as strong as they could be. Ooh, almost loses the Immortal. Might lose the Prism here, though. Looks like that'll just barely get away. And here we go. Round number 2, boys. Neuro engaging early. That's the right play. Burns a bunch of force fields, but those are amazing force fields out of Gemini. Catches about 20 supply of Neuro's army there. Gonna continue on forward, pushing forward. Reinforcing with the War Prism as well. Neuro has a huge surround coming in from 3 different angles. And Gemini is starting to run low on force fields here. Probably has a few more on those sentries, maybe 3 or 4 left. Gonna warp in 1 more so he can get another force field out. But with these Hydras out, the DPS of Neuro's army is suddenly insane. Even though it's just a few Hydras, even just that many can make the difference in a fight. All 3 Immortals are still alive, by the way. But it looks like this is going to be a hold here for Neuro. His production's just out of control at this point. Focuses down 2 of the Immortals, gets the 3rd one, and wins the series. GG's, everybody. Amazing. Let's see if we can get these boys in a call to break it down for us. Yo.
GG.
How you feeling?
Dude, that last game was nostalgia city for me.
Did you kind of like, between the first and the second time that he soul trained, did you kind of like remember? It's like, oh shit, this is what I'm supposed to do.
The main thing that shifted for me over the series was realizing that Protoss actually can't do anything for the first 7 minutes. There are no adepts. There are no oracles.
True.
What can he do? A cannon rush? Gemini has never cannon rushed me. He's a righteous macro Protoss.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if he defended the first Soul Train so poorly that I was like, okay, maybe even if he knows that I'm doing it, it doesn't matter. But it didn't. It did matter. It did matter.
Yeah. That was really, I don't know. I feel like even though he held, it was still close. Like there was that one fight where it was literally like 6 roaches left fighting like 5 stalkers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it feels like it's close even if you scout it. That was the game that I got GM off of back in HOTS. The first time I got it was defending pretty much that build or a similar kind of build. And it's really a game of did you drone the correct amount and make enough roaches? And there's like one key area where the map is really open where we're fighting. And then if he gets into any passageway on Antigua or Akelon, you're dead. There's no Ravager.
Yeah.
The Sentry feels way stronger in Wings. The Infestor is better, I guess, but we didn't do it that many times. Stalkers feel better.
Do they though? I don't know. I feel like every time there was like the Stalker Immortal left, whenever it was like the Stalker Immortal left versus like the small amount of roaches or whatever, I felt like it was just everything was just dying anyway. I felt like I was doing no damage, and like when I was like stuck behind your 3rd on Ohana, same thing. Like I felt like those Stalkers were doing like no damage. I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you ever figure out if you could make a mothership? Like, was it just glitched out for that one map?
I didn't get to the point to try for the other games, so I don't know. But yeah, that was weird. I was purely gonna do that just to meme because I knew
Immortals seem way easier to kill
that too, very much.
because they don't have that reactive shield thing.
They
Do
have
they?
some sort of barrier, but I don't
No,
remember how it
they
works.
do have it, but it's only if it's over 10 damage. The attack is if only if it's over 10 damage does it actually do anything.
Right, so against Roachling Immortals are pretty bad.
Yeah, but also just the fact that you can't just easily juggle them back no matter what is pretty tough. Like I
Mhm.
tried to do it a little bit, but it's like it's really you can't. Especially with even with ping it was kind of tough too. But like just uh trying to get it back outside of range is hard, and then being able to dip back in to get the other units out of range too. It's like it's I don't know, you can't really.
Mhm. Do you think the game is better in Legacy of the Void than in Wings overall?
Yeah, overall, yeah, of course, definitely. There's way more interesting things happening. I'd say, and there's the game isn't inherently broken. like like once you get to learn faster, it's not like the game is literally over. So that's good, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it just like going back. It feels so fresh. I like
Yeah, it just
so
feels
much I
cool.
forgot about.
Yeah,
It just
there's
feels
a
cool
lot
to
of
do that kind of stuff.
you're trying to remember old builds. So I was like, what is the Stefano Roach Max anyway? I don't remember exactly what it was. I think I did it the last game. I don't remember what the gas timings were, but 15 pool, 15 hatch. I got supply blocked. I don't really know the next overlord, but then you're supposed to take a third. And then you take double gas instead of single gas. And the reason that was safe is because adepts didn't exist back then. If you
Yeah.
do that now, a good Protoss can just kill you with the first 2 or 4 adepts.
Yeah, going gasless is like just what you're supposed to do, kind of, because
Mm.
yeah, there's nothing that you can do to to punish unless you're going cannon rush. But
Yeah.
I don't cannon rush. I should have faked it at least once just to like. Would you have believed me if I tried to fake it,
Yeah,
knowing that
dude.
I'd never cannon rush anyway?
Yeah.
What do
Hmm.
you even
You're
do
one
against
of
cannons? You just pull drones like
Yeah, you do 4 drones per building and then 2 drones per probe. I would guess that I've defended thousands more cannon rushes than Gemini has done. Gemini
I've
might be
literally
the only Protoss who has never cannon rushed me.
you can literally count. I can literally count the number of times I've cannon rushed someone on a ladder on my 2 hands over 11 years of whatever StarCraft.
Is it a existential thing, like a moral thing?
I just never learned how to do it, and I never really cared to learn how to do it for so
Mm.
long that now it's just like there's no point because there's just so much that I would have to learn, all the different tiny little intricacies of what to do in certain reactions and stuff, and I'm just like, this is not what I do. I
Mm-hmm.
I can't do it. I'm just literally so bad at it, so I'm not even gonna bother trying to learn it at this point. So yeah.
Well, you have good mechanics, so I would think it would be not too trivial or hard to figure out.
It's decision making and like really quick. That's what I'm garbage at. I'm very bad at making the right decisions. Like I can do mechanically something well, and like if the build works, then it's fine. But like because when you get to like the super high level cannon rush stuff, like you need to do all these certain tiny little snap decisions, like to put it in a certain way for you, and that is the experience bank that I don't have,
Mm.
and it's just not worth the build will only go up to a certain point. It's like I'm strong when I know that I can do a certain build for a certain period of time, and like I can know how to do it. But when the build itself only lasts for like 2 minutes, if that, then it's like
Mm.
okay, then the rest is free form improv, and I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that.
Felt like the worker count we got to on Ohana was super high for how that map used to be played.
Yeah, I was not gonna do it. That's the classic Soul Train map, so I wasn't gonna do it on that map, thinking you would expect that pretty much. But
Mm.
I had that build on that map because I kind of I enjoyed doing that build on that map that I did, but you kind of messed with it with the proxy hatch, so
Mm-hmm.
the timings were all fucked up. I didn't
I had
know there
every
was.
intention of canceling the proxy hatch as soon as I put it down.
I had the feeling too because I didn't see any Lings streaming at all, and I was like, I just wanted to leave the cannon going, just in case you were gonna like for
Mm.
whatever finish it, and then there's just a hatch there, and I don't have a cannon, so I was gonna be like, oh well, this is just stupid because I could cancel the cannon anyway because I knew that the timing was gonna line up. So Yeah, I had a feeling you were just gonna cancel regardless because of the fact that there was no lings. So I was like, it's still weird though, because you have to respect it because you don't have anything else early game as Protoss other than cannons. So
Yeah. I realized very quickly on was it the second map when I took the hidden base and you
Yeah.
scouted it, and then I realized it clicked like how close that base was to your third.
Yeah.
yeah. But I also I think I saw drones walking across the map. Actually, you misrallied. That's how I
Yeah.
found it. That's how I found it. That was kind of funny.
Did you think on that same map, I saw you fly over one of his bases with like 16 corruptors? Did you think
Yeah,
that caustic spray?
I was gonna caustic spray his Nexus. I was like, oh, he fucking took a third next to me. Caustic spray, easy money. And then I read the tooltip, and it's like increases damage taken to enemy units
Yeah.
by 20%. Oh
Yeah,
no.
man, that doesn't do shit. That ability was garbage.
Single target, like, were people even using rapid fire back then? I feel like with rapid fire, maybe it's okay.
You were people found it for warp gates and stuff.
Okay.
Me and my friend kind of found it. Well, I didn't. I'm not gonna say we did, but we found it pretty early, in like 2012, I think. So that's before 2012. It was not happening. But yeah, the mass corruptor meme was pretty funny.
Oops.
Were you planning on doing that, or were you gonna go into mutas?
I was gonna go Broodlord.
Well, I mean, like from the very, very beginning, because like you got that Spire mad early.
From the beginning, I tried to Bane bust you, but it was like a perfect hold.
Yeah, because I'm a god. But like the muta part, or the Spire like, afterwards felt super fast. Like, was that literally just for the corruptors?
At that point, when I lost the Bane Nest, I was like, I need to play really dumb to confuse him. to survive.
You're not wrong in that. That is how you're gonna. That's how you're gonna beat me if you are just gonna play like a fucking,
He even got like +1 flyer attacks like 3 minutes before he ever made an air unit.
I was like looking. I was thinking you were just gonna go Hail Mary Muta, but like thinking I was only gonna go to 1 Stargate, but I was gonna go 2 Stargate anyway on that map, and then I had a bunch of Mutas or Phoenix, so I thought I just kind of like canceled your plan, but I guess not.
No, I didn't really have a plan. You can't counter someone's plan if they don't know what their plan is.
Yep, exactly. How can I know what you're doing if you don't even know what you're doing?
Yeah, because I guess I tried the Bane bust and then I didn't know how Zerg is meant to play from behind against Protoss on that map.
You're just gonna be like, wait, I thought the Bane bust was supposed to win. There's a pylon in the wall.
Yeah, well, I have no lurker to fall back on, so it's like I can't play a turtle lurker game.
It's true. That's what I miss. That's what I miss the most about Wings of Liberty and Heart of the Swarm, where if someone cheeses you, they're actually dead. Like, you can't just, like, willy-nilly do a shitty-ass, like, half-ass Bane bust that doesn't kill anything, and then you're like, oh, huh, just kidding, I'm actually playing macro now. Like, and you can't kill them for, like, 20 minutes. Like, if I wasn't going to Stargate, I probably could have just, like, killed you, like, pretty fast. But, like, I was inherently ahead, like, the whole time, so it was, like, whatever.
Oh, I knew it.
That part felt good, where I was like, I defended it. I was like, oh, I'm just straight up so far ahead now, because this game allows me to be.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had 20 drones off that attack.
Yeah.
It didn't work. Well, this was fun.
Yeah, thanks.
Have you ever thought of doing a HOTS version?
Oh
Yeah, I was
God.
gonna say we got to do HOTS next. That's
The
the real
series.
shit.
If we had a Zerg, the series would be like 8 hours long. If they knew how to play.
That is.
It's
true.
a similar feeling to like dipping back into Classic after someone was playing all the different iterations of WoW, where you're going back to a very old rule set and you get some nostalgia from the maps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
I haven't touched HOTS yet. I don't know.
I played HOTS a lot more than Wings, so I would guess that would like click into more old memories.
Mm-hmm.
How I used to play certain maps.
Oh, dude, I would love to do that. Wait, did they ever nerf Swarm hosts before Legacy? I can't remember.
I think right in the last patch they did.
Cool. So we wouldn't hopefully have just Swarm host every game if we did do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I quit StarCraft for like 2 years because of the Swarm host.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember Namshar was my coach, but he wasn't a pro yet. He was just some random GM. And I was like, how do I play ZVP? And he's like, Swarm host. And I was like, how else? He's like, no, that's the only way. And then I quit for 2 years.
I'm amazed that I kept playing throughout all of that, to be honest with you. Swarm hosts were terrible.
Yeah, dude, PVZ looked broken as fuck. Like, literally, if they, I don't remember what the number was, but it's, I don't know, 20 plus. And it didn't matter how much splash damage you have, you literally couldn't kill the Locust in time.
Yeah, it got to the point where, you wouldn't be able to kill the first Locust Wave before the second Locust Wave hit you, and you're just like, well, okay.
Right, exactly.
It's literally, it was so fucking, it was so bad. Like, that was the one thing that I kept saying needed to be changed, if anything. It's like, just make it so that way there's actually a downtime in between the two Locust Waves. Like, that, like, the fact that there's no room to punish was so crazy.
All right.
I didn't really play that style very much in ZVP. I was mostly Roach Hydra Viper. That was the main thing that I trained getting up to GM the first time. I would play Gasless into Roach Hydra and ZVZ, and then I think Ling Roach Hydra against Protoss. And then against Terran, I would even play Roach Hydra most of the time. I learned how to do Ling Bane Muta from Pig near the end of HOTS, but the first rise was with Roach Hydra Viper.
Honorable man, not trying to get free wins with Swarm hosts.
Yeah, you could have gone pro.
Just sitting
If
at
you
his
get
computer
GM
and
with Roach
eating
Hydra.
Doritos. Just sitting there with a mouthful of Doritos every time a Locust Wave pops. Just like, yes. Click like a few more buttons, a couple more Swarm hosts. Yes.
Just put on a TV
Crunch.
show.
Literally.
Yes.
And watch the Locust kill your opponent on the other monitor. Nice.
Yeah. I need to push the Hive button now for Broodlords. Yum. Ooh, I need to
more
get a
for
new
you.
bag.
Let me make some
Yeah.
infestors real quick.
Oh god. Well, this was fun, except for the fact that I blew a 3-1 lead.
It's all good. Nobody needs to know.
Rip. Oh well. Even in Wings of Liberty show matches, I can't win anything. Feels bad, man.
Oh no.
I was having fun the whole time, even after losing
Nah,
two games.
It was fun. It was enjoyable. The Ohana game was actually legit pretty sick. That was actually
the best game for sure.
Those games are what I do miss about Wings, where like it does kind of sometimes feel like you'll get some scrappy games like that where it's very bare bones, right? It's like super just like kind of simple armies going against each other, and it like ends up being scrappy and like going back and forth, and it doesn't sometimes actually reach the high tech stuff. Like those games feel pretty cool. It's kind of Brood War feeling for me. But like, at least in Legacy and stuff, you get maxed so fast that like you actually rarely get those games, so it's kind of hard to get that. So that game was pretty cool for that.
Yeah, definitely. It felt like we both made a ton of workers bringing the Legacy of the Void knowledge into the game, but then lost almost everything. I look at my drones and the DTs. Oh shit, am I dead? But then I look at your base and your probes, and I'm like, I think he's dead too.
Yeah, I had more. I'm amazed I had more probes than drones that you did after that fight finally ended and it like stalled for a second. I thought I had literally no units. You probably could have just walked across the map and won at that point. So like when you weren't, I was kind of like, because I was just making units assuming you would, and then you didn't. So I was like, oh fuck, he didn't actually attack me. I think I'm actually in an okay spot, but I didn't make any fucking like, I didn't go into Colossus or like I don't even have charge or anything. I was like, oh fuck, I'm kind of boned now. So it didn't really work out, but it was an interesting game.
Thank you, Waysoft, for hosting, dude.
Yeah, thank you guys for playing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do more.
Link of the YouTube when it's up, dude.
I sure will. See you around, guys.
Have a good night, fam.
GG.
Boys. Later.
Later, Twitch chat.
See ya.
All right, y'all.